guys. Hi. You see me jiving, Abby. Well, that song was from Yemi Alade, True Love. And of course, obviously, I'm in the studio. Yes, I have a bit of time on my hands. So I wanted to conclude the video. I was talking about my knitting experience. So, formally, I want to say welcome back. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Joy Panam, aka Lady J, and yes, this is my first YouTube. This is my, will I say second or third? I've posted a few videos on my YouTube channel, so please subscribe, like, share, help us grow this YouTube community. To those of you who have subscribed, I appreciate you. I love you guys. And those who have watched the video, the previous videos, I'm so grateful. Please keep them coming. Let's grow this community as much as possible as we can. Now, in the last video, now I know you're wondering why I'm looking different from my last video. I couldn't get the full video for the other one that I posted, so I'm redoing this particular video again. It's possible it might elongate into a part 3 so that it's not too long, right? So I'm still getting a hang of this. Hope you bear with me. All right, okay. Well, let me take the music down. Give me a few seconds. All right, yeah, it's a bit quiet now. Like I said, I have a bit of time on my hands, so I'm going to try to be fast about it. Now, in the last video, I was talking about how I used to hide to knit. I used to hide to knit because my parents were not so intrigued by my knitting. They felt that it was, and let me take this mask off. It was interfering with my schoolwork. Like I was more into knitting than I was in my schoolwork. And yeah, like every concerned parent, they felt that they had to take that knitting out of the way so that I could concentrate on my studies. So parents back then didn't understand a passion. They didn't understand what a child would like. All they knew was that you educate your child has to be to become a doctor, a lawyer. Those are the days of doctor, lawyer, engineer, accountant. You dare not tell parents you want to do music. Music, no, it's for job. No, that was back then. That was the era in which I was born. So I was upset with them at some point, but I understand that they did what they felt was best, even though it wasn't right, but to them it was best. And well, you can't force them too much. So like I said in my last video, my primary 4 teacher, Mr. Antwi, he was a Ghanaian, always indicated in my report card, primary 4, yeah, she's always knitting in class. And my dad gave him standing orders to beat me. I hated that teacher, I won't lie. I hated him for years. I was angry at my dad. I was resentful at my dad. I felt like they took something that I loved so much away from me. Well, I officially stopped knitting at the age of 4. I said, sorry, not 4, 10. Yes, 10 in primary 4. Pardon the bloopers, the many bloopers. Like I said, I'm still getting a hang of this. But I know that as time goes on, we'll get better. I'll get better. Okay. All right. So, well, I no more hiding to knit. No more. I will just look at other girls knitting and just wish I could just do it. I never touched a needle or a broomstick in primary 4 for a very, very, very long time. At the point, I even forgot that I ever loved knitting. I kid you not. No, then there was this shop back in Jos, when Ultra Modern Market, we used to call the main market, was still functioning. We used to go and make our hair there, myself and my sister, my junior sister. So before you get to the shop, there are strings of shop before you now cross the other side. That was the biggest market in this spot called the Terminus. Now, if you live in Jos, you know what I'm talking about. And so before we cross, there's this particular shop on the left. And all they sold in that shop was wool, different colors of wool. And man, I used to look at those bags and balls of wool with faithfulness, because I just wanted, even if it was just one ball, to make something. I could knit. I learned it so fast. I could, like I said, there were just stockings, one leg of stockings that I could knit. So I would knit, bind off, everything is okay, then I'll lose it again. But that was just about the only thing I had. But I couldn't go and buy one ball of wool. Even if I hide it, how long will I hide it? Where will I tell my parents that I got money from? I was just a kid. I wasn't working. And those are not the days you go and tell your auntie, please Bible for me. The way your parents, your mother, especially your mom, will sand you. How dare you? Didn't you tell yourself that stop knitting? So I just stopped for years. When I got into secondary school, I never knitted. Got into the university, I didn't knit. But I know that interest in crafts, in making stuff, was still in me. I could even draw. I used to be a very good artist, especially in primary school. Now, funny enough, they didn't bother the drawing. They didn't bother me with the drawing aspect. It was this knitting, they emphasize knitting and music that they emphasize so much on. No knitting, this one, that one. And well, I had to stop because I was just a child. I didn't have any option. It's not like now that I'm an adult of my own self, so I can decide if I want to do it or not. So I didn't knit for a very long time, for years, precisely 29 years. So it was in February 2021. I've been taking some classes, some therapy classes with Lara Kudaisi. And one of those days before our Zoom class, I slept off and I dreamt that I was knitting. And that was, I think, the second or the third time I was having that dream. The first time I had that dream, I asked someone to go to the market and buy wool for me, and which she did. But she couldn't get knitting pins, and she kept buying crochet hooks. She kept buying crochet hooks, and I'm not a crocheter. I don't know how to crochet. That's the truth. So I couldn't do anything with the yarn. So this particular Sunday in February, when I dreamt about knitting, I picked up some broomsticks again to try if it will work, but it didn't work. So I now called my sister Leah, and I explained. She lives in Kaduna, and I was like, okay, could you get me some knitting pins and send it down to Lagos? I don't mind paying for it. And she was like, you can get it in Lagos now. In fact, any kind of knitting pin you want, circular, this, any size. I said, really? Where? But I've been sending someone to the market to buy for me, and she keeps coming back with crochet hooks. And she said, okay, she'll give me a link. Incidentally, that link that she gave me, Kelly Zole, is also my friend. Is somebody that I know very well. So she became my number one plug for knitting, and I explained, I shared my story with her. The following day, I bought a few balls of yarn. I wish I could show you the first things I knitted. Maybe in the next video, I will be able to show you some of the first things I knitted. I started off with the baby boots. At first, it was frustrating because sometimes I would miss one part, and then since I was still getting a hang of it, once I miss one part, I have to go back and start all over again. That is losing everything. Sometimes I'm watching a video on YouTube and I'm learning the pattern, and then a call just comes in and it just destabilizes you. Those are some of the annoying issues I faced at the beginning, but I'll talk extensively about it in the next video. Okay, like I said, this is after 29 years of not holding a knitting pin, and that passion was there. One of the things I learned is that, look, you can't kill passion. When you are passionate about something, it is always there until time comes and it's stirred up again. Since that passion was stirred up, see, I have not looked back. I'm having the time of life. I'm enjoying it because in so short a time, I've made baby boots, I've made caps, not just for babies, but for adults. I've made blankets, I've made rompers, baby rompers. In fact, that is one of my best sellers. I've made Mary Jane shoes, and I'm still learning. It's not like I've arrived or anything. No, I haven't made mittens. I know if you follow my page, joy.panam, you will see me post pictures of babies who are wearing my products, and that makes me so happy. I'm still growing. It's still a growing business, and a lot of things that I knew back then, it is even now I understand what exactly it was like then. This pattern, let me show you this pattern. You see this pattern? Take a look. Now this is called the garter stitch. This is called garter stitch, but back then I knew it as front and back. And so it's front and front. I used to know it. They used to call it back then. But when I got into knitting, I got to know that this is what they call the garter stitch. So you see, I'm learning this the stockinette stage. I will show you all of those patterns in my next video. But you see, one of the things I just wanted to emphasize is that look, in as much as my own parents meant well, they didn't want a situation where you go to school, you send your child to school and your child isn't studying, your child is doing something else. My parents didn't understand the word balance. They would have put a balance to it. Okay, you know what? Since you love this, no problem. But Monday to Friday, no knitting. Friday, when you come back from school, when you're done with your homework, you have the whole weekend to knit. I would have gladly obliged to it, but no, there was no knitting, no knitting, no this, no that. So things that were normal to other girls were abnormal to me. So I want to say something. I'm not a parent yet, but by God's grace, God has helped me to raise, other children. Parents, let's try to always apply balance to the lives of our children. When I say I'm speaking prophetically, because I know someday soon I'll be a mom. I had to learn the hard way that you don't just stifle your child and say, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Put your child in a box. I had to learn the hard way because I didn't enjoy being in that box. I wanted to be free. I wanted to expand. I wanted to be, being myself. But, for the vision they had, medical doctor. I was not called out to be a medical doctor. Not because I don't have the brains, but, for purpose, for destiny, for where God was taking me to, or He's taking me to. That was not His purpose for me. At the point I did try. I tried the sciences because I love children. I wanted to major in pediatrics or ONG, that is gynecology, not obstetrics, gynecology. Yeah, that was what I wanted to major in because I love children so much. But that wasn't what God wanted to me. I'm more of a writer. I'm more of a creative person. That was the way God wired me. See, parents, you need to understand that God wires children differently. If your child is not moving towards the science aspect, it does not mean there's something wrong with your child. It just tells you that this child, God has wired this child to be more interested in the arts, to be more interested in social sciences. I studied mass communication. I'm an OAP today. I enjoy and I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. I would, if I had managed to even study the medicine, I'm too sure that I would have been very frustrated and very, very unfulfilled. So big shout out to all our parents. You guys did your best and we love and appreciate you, but please don't kill the talents, the gifts that you see in your children. God didn't put it there by mistake. You see that passion for knitting, it wasn't there by mistake. God put it in me. But my parents didn't know any better and they did what they felt was best. And for years, I didn't do that. Sometimes I sit down and think, if they had allowed me, I probably would have had, a very, very strong business today, because trust me, there's a lot of money in this knitting and craft world. I'm part of a knitters and crocheters group, and I can tell you for free, there's a lot of money in there. But don't do this for the money. Do this for the passion in you. It's not every time I get an order, even when I don't have orders, I'm learning something, I'm knitting something, I'm making something. I find joy when I'm making something. Well, maybe in the next video I will show you some of the things that I've been able to knit, and when I look at them, sometimes when I'm having a bad day, these are some of the things that really, really cheer me up and make me smile. So this is just a part 2, a sequel to the first video where I talked about my knitting story, and I hope you've learned a thing or two from the story that I shared with you guys. You see, parents, let's do better. Let's do a lot better than what we have experienced. Yes, I'm not saying your child shouldn't go to school. Don't get me wrong. It's very important. Education is very, very, very important. I interviewed Made Kuti today, and he said something that was key. He said at some point he wanted to leave school and just major in music. His dad said, no, you finish school, because he was even studying music. I even wish I was able to go to school and study music, but my parents would not hear of that. Those are the days of music is for dropouts. So if you are studying music, then you are a dropout, and that's not always the case, but that was what they felt they knew. That was what they felt was best. They did what they felt was best in their own limits. So no, I used to be angry at them and resent for a while, but not anymore, because I understand. If I were in their shoes, probably I would have done worse than that, you know. But please, parents, let's encourage the passion and gifts of our children. It's very important. Education is very important, but pay attention to what your child is very interested in. That might be where the big money will be coming from. Well, thank you all for watching my video. Please subscribe to this channel, like my videos, share my videos, give it a big thumbs up. Help us grow this community. Let's grow this community together, and I'm sure I'm sure you love it. You're in for the ride of a lifetime. I borrowed one. I borrowed Femi's line. No, Femi, don't be vexed, yo. I borrowed your line, but honestly, this channel is about God, music, and everything in between. Whether it's entertainment, you will hear it. Whether it's me sharing a true life story, or wanting to be a blessing, encouraging someone, you will hear it. Music-wise, trust me, you hear it, but you know, one step at a time. So thank you all for joining me today in this video. I'll be posting more videos and we'll grow this channel together. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next videos. Bye.